If you own or sell a forced reset trigger, your legal situation may have just changed overnight. The Department of Justice has reached a settlement that ends the federal ban on many forced reset triggers and allows owners to get them back. But not every state agrees. Some are still treating these devices as illegal machine guns. So today, let's break down what's legal, what isn't, and what this means for gun owners, dealers, and manufacturers right now. First, a quick refresher. A forced reset trigger, often called an FRT, is a semi-automatic trigger system that rapidly resets the trigger after each shot. In simple terms, the trigger pushes forward after firing, forcing the shooter's finger to reset for the next shot. Supporters argue it's still one trigger pull per round, which keeps it within the definition of a semi-automatic firearm. But the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, better known as the ATF, claims some of these designs allow continuous fire similar to a machine gun. That classification created one of the biggest legal fights in recent gun policy history. In 2021, the ATF officially classified several forced reset triggers as machine guns under the National Firearms Act. That decision led to cease and desist letters, product seizures, and multiple federal lawsuits. The most visible case came from the Florida-based company Rare Breed Triggers. They sued, arguing the ATF overstepped its authority. Fast forward to July 2024. A U.S. District Court in Texas sided with Rare Breed, calling the ATF's classification arbitrary and capricious. That ruling effectively vacated the ATF's ban, but enforcement confusion remained. Then, in May 2025, the Department of Justice reached a settlement with Rare Breed Triggers. Under that agreement, the federal government ended its enforcement action and allowed previously seized FRTs to be returned to owners. Gun rights groups called it a major victory, while gun control advocates warned it would open the door to faster-firing weapons. Either way, at the federal level, most FRTs are no longer considered machine guns. But before you celebrate, the story gets complicated. Firearm regulation doesn't end with Washington, D.C. Each state has its own laws. In California, Attorney General Rob Bonta issued a statement reaffirming that forced reset triggers remain illegal under state law, regardless of federal action. New York, Illinois, New Jersey, and several others followed with similar positions. Meanwhile, 16 states have filed lawsuits against the federal government, claiming the 2025 settlement undermines public safety and violates their authority to regulate firearms locally. This means the legal status of an FRT now depends on where you live. Federal law may allow it, but your state could still ban it outright. So what does this mean for you? If you own an FRT, under current federal law you can possess it, as long as it isn't restricted in your state. Always verify your local statutes before traveling, transporting, or selling one. If you're a dealer or gunsmith, double-check every destination state before shipping or transferring a trigger. Keep detailed records: manufacturer, model, serial number, and proof of purchase. For businesses, remember that the ATF could issue new guidance or classifications in the future. So keep compliance documentation on hand. And be aware, Congress could still introduce new legislation redefining these triggers or regulating their sale. The current legal window is real, but it may not stay open forever. Here's what to watch in the months ahead. The group of states challenging the DOJ settlement will continue their lawsuits, potentially pushing this issue toward the Supreme Court. The ATF could attempt to reissue rules through a formal rulemaking process instead of an enforcement letter, which would take months and invite more public comment. And state legislatures could pass new laws this year clarifying their own definitions of machine gun or rapid-fire device. So while federal enforcement has ended for now, the legal landscape is still shifting under your feet. Federal bans can disappear overnight, but state laws move at their own pace. Stay informed, stay compliant, and make sure you know what's legal where you live. Subscribe and turn on notifications for weekly firearm law updates and new policy breakdowns.